Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Knitter in her sewing room. My name is Suzanne, the Kitchen Knitter, and this is my little space on the internet where I show you what I've been sewing. Today is Monday. It's Easter Monday. It's a very, very dull, rainy day here in the northwest, but we have had a run of some lovely weather, and to be honest, I think the garden could do with a smattering of rain. So it's been a month since I last podcast, and I've not had a lot of stitching time. My son came up with his family 2 weeks ago, and of course this becomes a bedroom, so I had to decommission my sewing room. This is all folded up and stuff put away, so that puts a halt on things. And then the following week I came down with a cold. My husband started with the cold the weekend, and then I caught it. And again, it wasn't conducive to doing anything. I just sort of sat and did some simple knitting, really. Not much of that. Some reading. Anyway, I feel I've turned a corner, as they say. There's not going to be too much coughing and sniffing, I hope. I will cut that out if it is. But I will give you an update on what I've been doing. And the first thing, I think when I showed you Reynard the fox from Cool Crafting, I think he had a head and a leg. So now I finished him as a fox, and he is now clothed. So he has his corduroys on, he has his cravat, and he has a tweed jacket. Little buttons, proper little pockets, and the collar is lined with the same fabric as his cravat. So this is the wine coloured selection. You can get, I now bought that, the mossy green one as well, but I think I might make that one for myself. I don't know. But he's the fiddliest bit for me was his nose. You've got to sort of press things down and then do a little bit of sewing across. But I think he's quite cute, actually. I love his ears. And his little buttons, and I've shown you the pockets, haven't I? I do like those pockets. I was quite pleased with myself that it all went in. I didn't have to take them out and put them in again. The only trouble I have with these things is the tiny little buttonholes. I've talked about buttonholes before. And so I haven't put any buttonholes in. I put the buttons on, but I've not put any buttons on, a buttonhole in. I'll show you what I've been practicing on, and it's my machine is not cooperating or being cooperative. I'm sniffing, sorry. So there's Reynard the fox, and he is going to be a raffle prize for an event called Time for a Cuppa. It's a nationwide event in aid of Dementia UK, and some colleagues of mine have organised, they've organised two actually. They're doing one in a residential care home, and they're doing one where we work at the Civic Hall. So he's won one prize for one of the coffee mornings, Time for Cuppas. And I made another Luna, and she's got her dress and her coat on. And again, you're supposed to, this is supposed to be double-breasted, and I fudged. I thought I can't do any more. You're supposed to have 6 slots of buttonholes here, 6 buttons, and I just thought, oh, do you know, I'm just going to do 2 here. And I mean, this doll isn't actually going to be dressed. She's going to be sat on someone's shelf or something. But I just see the little buttons, and then I fudged 2 buttonholes on, just going, and I've not even got them straight really, just going backwards and forwards, and then doing a little stitch like that. I don't know what it is with me and buttonholes. We don't get on. So that's Luna in her car coat. I think it's called a car coat, and I'll take the coat off. I mean, it's got a little little bits on the sleeve, and a little bit of Liberty bias binding, which has gone a little bit crinkly, and I don't know why, and a Liberty bit of bias binding there, and then you do a vent on the back. And then this is her dress, which has a little rickrack on the sleeves, little Peter Pan collar, and then the pockets. Now, I wasn't sure about the pockets. I think they're a bit ham-fisted, but I'm going to leave them on. And then, now I haven't done a buttonhole there. I have just sewn a button on there. She's kind of sewn into a dress. Again, she's not going to be dressed and undressed. She's not a toy. So there she is in her little dress and coat. Again, she's a raffle prize, so she'll be in one of the other. And I did I showed last time I did the gardening Luna for we were doing a plant and seed swap, and there was going to be a gardening tombola, and I said, well, would you like me to make a gardening Luna? Yes, please. So I did the Luna. I think I showed it in my last video. I've got a hair that's coming across my face. I showed it. I'd made the wash day apron, but in a fabric from Lewis and Irene with carrots on it, and I knitted a little sun hat, looked like a little sun hat, and I made yellow wellies. And my colleagues, my friend said, people are just buying tickets to win Luna, although it was a lovely tombola. There was some lovely prizes, some beautiful gardening things and garden ornaments and plant pots, things like that. Some lovely things, lanterns, for candles, things like that. And but they said, no, people are buying tickets because they want to win the Luna. And she didn't go till right at the end. In fact, we were saying, have we got a ticket in that tombola drum? But anyway, she was supposed to go as well to sort of advertise the tombola. So hopefully people will buy lots of tickets and want to win this Luna or Reynard, and make lots of money for Dementia UK. So the other thing with the fox is you can make him a tail, which is more pertinent if you're not going to clothe him, because there's nowhere to put it. I thought, oh well, maybe I could leave a little gap in the seam, and it would, but there's not enough room, because it's quite at one point it gets quite fat. So I think I'll be discarding that one, or leaving it. If I ever make another Luna and don't make any clothes, another Reynard, and don't make any clothes for him, I've got a tail already made. It is a funny felt compared to the felt that you make Luna in. It's very I don't know. It pills really easily. Anyway, I suppose that all adds to the charm. So those are two finished things ready for the raffle, which I think time for a cuppa. I mean, it's like I said, it was countrywide. I think it's the 30th of April, and we're doing one on the 1st of May as well. So I'm good and ready. I'm normally sewing these things the night before the event. However, so I've done those, and that's Luna's coat. What's the other thing? Oh, I finished a dress. I had a dress on the mannequin last time, and it was this grey dress, and I finished it. Well, I say I finished it, but I'm getting it out to show you. I've still got 2 pins in here to just sew down the edge of the bias binding. So it's technically it is not finished, but however, it is. This is a dress from Linnet Designs, and it's a number, and I can't remember what the number is, but I did show it on my last podcast because I hadn't finished it. And when I'm not sure, it was on the mannequin, so you couldn't see, but what happened was there's a dart going down there, and then you get a pleat, and I hadn't quite matched up my pleat and my dart. It looked a bit odd, so I unpicked it and I've done it again, so it's looking a tad better. And this is linen from Merchant & Mills called Grey Silt. So it's a perfectly plain, it's got a zip, and again, I'm not very good with zips either, but it's got a zip down the back, which I think is okay. That's all right. And there should have been bus darts across from here. There should have been darts there. I didn't put them in because I thought if I take out any more material, it's not going to fit me, because these it's a Japanese pattern, so it's quite their measurements are quite slight, and I just went up a size. I think I did the last but one size. I went up a size, and it does fit. But I think if I'd put those darts in across there, I think it might have been a tad snug. So I've done that, and it sort of, it comes so far down, just a normal hem. It's very plain. It's just the sleeves like that. But I love this this colour. It's one of my favourites. I made a camber dress when I first started using Merchant and Mills, and I wore it till it fell to pieces. And I wore it till I was repairing the repairs, and then just couldn't anymore because it's quite fine. I find that a lot of my dress is thin under here, but that's my shape, not the linen. So that dress is finished. I'm not sure when I'll wear it. It's not very sunny. I'm just looking at. No, it's fine. Yeah. So that's the linnet number. I did mention the number in the last podcast. I can't remember now. It's the one if you Google linnet or look on Pinterest. This is the one that always comes up. But there's been a few new patterns since, and blouses. So that's finished, and it's hemmed as well. So that's that one. What else have I finished? Oh, that, I don't know if you can see, if I move, can you see that dress on there? That's my Julie Andrews moment dress. I talked about that in my last podcast. And I had some wonderful comments from you making suggestions as to what to do, rather than me unpick it and make it into a skirt, which I didn't really want to do. But I think it makes me look matronly when I wear it. It's very mumsy. And it does look as if I've made my dress out the sitting room curtains. So one of the ideas was why don't you wear it with a cardigan or a boxy jumper like the Love Note or something like that. And I'm not sure I want to knit the Love Note, but I did think about a slip over, and I tried it with the Stockholm slip over that I made, but I made that too small. So I'm going to, I know this is all about sewing, but I'm going to knit that, and I'm going to knit it in. Oh, everything's on the settee. I'm going to knit it in the Call for Yarn, which is, that's upside down, what's it, felted tweed, of course, felted tweed, and knit that. And I think that would look quite nice. And that blue, it's shade number 207, is in the colours. It's one of the colours within. I think green is another prominent colour, but I thought I'd go for something that wasn't quite foremost. I mean, like a caramelly colour would look nice too, but I thought, well, this would also go with some other things I've got as well. So I'm going to knit that. I think it would look nice with jeans as well. I've got a couple of nice white cotton blouses from either Laura Ashley or Cabbages and Roses, and I don't often wear them because I think I look. I'm just very self-critical. Anyway, but I think that would break things up nicely with jeans and a white shirt. I mean, she's wearing a white shirt and jeans with it too, but she's very slim. Anyway, that's how I'm going to sort that out. So I'm going to start with that one first. I even think a jumper I'm knitting, which I've shown on my knitting podcast, it's more greener than this, and I think that would go with it as well. It's a little boxy cardigan, little vintage style cardigan. So that's how I'm not going to unpick that now. I don't wear many skirts. I think I'm a bit round here, and I don't often feel very comfortable in a skirt. So I mean, I've got dungarees on today. Again, it was something I wouldn't wear until I saw some podcasters wearing them, and I thought, well, I'm going to try. Oh no, it was when I was a land girl last year. We for D-Day, the D-Day celebrations last year, and at work we all dressed up as land girls. I got an outfit off Amazon. It was green dungarees, a white. It wasn't properly land girls. I mean, they used to wear those green jumpers, didn't they, and shirt and tie and puttees or thing, breeches and things. So, but this was as near as damaged. I mean, it was modelled with high heels. I mean, it's silly. Anyway, we all bought the same. So, I mean, I think we looked the part. We put the red lipstick on, and we I had put my hiking boots on. Not that I go hiking these days, but I put my hiking boots on, and it was great. And I thought, gosh, these are comfortable, and I didn't feel I wasn't too self-conscious in them either. So when I thought, oh, I might get myself some dungarees, and everyone has said to me, oh, you look nice in the dungaree. They look really nice. I don't feel like I look as if I'm bringing in the hay or about to, start building something. So I bought these are Lillian Yak, and I like the denim. It's nice and soft. I always have to take them up. They're always far too long. So I did that technique where you put a hem on the inside, and you still get that denim jeans look of the hem, but you do get another line across. But it doesn't matter. If I was very Arabic, I'd show you what I meant. But yeah, so that's me in my dungarees, and what I'm going to do with my that was a bit of a tangent, wasn't it? And what I'm going to do with that dress. The other dress I showed you was my reluctance to do the buttonholes, and even though I've sort of answered comments, I said, I'm going to put my big girl pants on and I'm going to do this. I think I might ruin it, but there was an alternative idea of putting the buttons on and then just putting Prestos behind it, and I never thought of that. And I think that might be the solution, because with trying to do the buttonholes for Luna here, I've just got myself into a bit of a tiz. So I'm just going to pop these back on the settee. And the other thing, should we stay with the sewing? So we had a D-Day celebration last year, and this year we're celebrating VE Day, which is on the 8th of May. And we're all going to get dressed up we've decided we're going, because we're doing a little tea and cake, and there'll be an exhibition from people with memorabilia and things like that. And I am going to make this dress, and it's a Liberty pattern, and it's the Bella tea dress. When I googled 1940s tea dresses, this came up. Others came up that were very, very fitted, and I'm not the shape for a very fitted dress, and I'm hoping I look like that. I won't, but that's my hope. So that is and it's Liberty. It's a Liberty pattern. So I haven't started it yet. That was another thing I was going to do this weekend, was actually make a start on it. But I have cut it out so I can show you. There's quite a few pieces, but it's not terribly complicated. But I've cut a sleeve out so I can show you I'll show you the material I'm using. It's a Pima cotton. It's very pretty, a Pima cotton, and I bought this from Guthrie and Garney, the shop in Birmingham, which I've been to. It's a beautiful fabric shop. I haven't been since before lockdown, but I buy online, and this is gorgeous, really nice. So I think that will look. Again, I probably feel like I've got my sitting room curtains on again, but it's for an occasion. So there's a few pieces. I've got them all kind of here, but it's not. There's sort of like self-facings and things, but I don't think it's too fiddly. There is a zip, I think. There's a zip, because I'm not quite sure. You can see that's the schematic. I'm not doing this one with all the fancy stuff. I'm doing the plain one here, and you can. I think there's a zip. I've not read it properly. I think there's a zip, just a small zip sort of there. I might be wrong, but it looks like that's where the zip is. Anyway, that's one. It's not so much a work in progress as a start. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, there's nothing else to say really about that. Guthrie and Garney. I got the pattern. Bought the pattern last year, I think. I bought it a while ago, but I think I bought that from Liberty itself. And the other thing, I thought I need some lighter dresses. I do wear my linen dresses all year round, but I thought let's branch out. And I bought this Indian cotton and this one from Merchant and Mills, and I thought I'm going to have a go at making, it needs no introduction, the Hattie. I'm going to make this one. This is the schematic, and I'm going to make that one. Now, I know I've said before I don't like my arms, but I mean, the chances are I won't be, I'll be wearing this with a cardigan. And this is Indian cotton, and it's absolutely lovely. Lovely colours. They're very similar colours. They're sort of, well, greens, and then there's the pink in there, and then there's in that. So that again, that was going to be something I do this weekend, but I've just not had the mindset really to do it. So that's the sewing, and I now and again, I don't buy it every month. Every now and again I buy, I try not to rustle this. I buy a slow stitching set from the Selvage Chronicles from Sherry Iris, and this one is Queen Anne lace, and I'll try not to rustle. And this is the selection of fabrics that you get. And it comes in like those boxes, letterbox boxes. So it comes with all the, and this is, how can I show you without them all falling? You get that and that, and they're all sort of coordinated and curated for the Queen Anne lace, which is a beautiful flower, isn't it? It's a plant, isn't it? Queen Anne lace. It's a hydrangea, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. It's cow. Of course it is. It's cow parsley, umbellifer. Of course it is. So there's sort of like hedgerow colours and some. Oh, you can't see any of that, can you? It's gorgeous. Loads of fabrics. Loads of beautiful. Look at that. And to be honest, I'm not that creative. I can't look at that and think, yes, I know what I'm going to do with that. But Sherry puts up little tutorials every now and then, I think on her Patreon, and then releases them. And right at the very bottom is a little embroidery pattern for cow parsley. So that would be, I would put that in the centre of things, and then you just build up the fabrics. I mean, there's some gorgeous fabrics here. You get a little bit of Laura Ashley, you get a little bit of Liberty. It's beautiful. And I'd just buy it for the fabric really, but I will have a go, and you get lovely old cotton lace and polka dots, which are standard signature, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So, but like I say, I can't look at that and think, I know what I'll do with that. But I think there's a tutorial to make a box pouch, and I think I'll have a go. And there's also a needle book as well, which I could do with, but I could also make them into thread beds. But that's the Selvage Chronicles from Sherry Iris. I have got a couple of these, probably more than a couple, but see that gorgeous fabric. All greens, all hedgerow colours. I'm just going to put this over there, and it's all about slow stitching, but I like I say, I'm not terribly creative. I tend to copy what everybody else has been doing. And the other thing I got through the post was some Acufactum. I've joined a subscription. I do a subscription to Alice Caroline for Liberty Fabrics. You get 6 fat quarters a month, and then I've joined the Acufactum club at Stitchery, and I can't remember if I've shown you the first one. Well, I'll show you again anyway, because I got it out just in case. Oh, I took everything carefully out of the cellophane and I've left one behind. Oh, but I ordered this just as a. I ordered that as a. This is Acufactum. I ordered that as an extra. I just thought it was really pretty. Find something to do with that for maybe granddaughters. And so I think I got the catch-up one, which was the first one, and it's these sort of fabric designs, and that one. And how many did I get? You get 4, but I can't remember the measurement, but they're bigger than fat quarters. And that one, which is gorgeous, and this one's ever so pretty. That one, that's lovely. So I got that. So that was the first one, and then the second one. I mean, I'd seen this fabric on the Acufactum website, and I thought, oh, it's just gorgeous. So there's that one, and then you get a polka dot one, and then you get that one. Oh, it's starting to brighten up now, and I think I'm probably in the wrong position now. There we go. I'm sort of facing the window, but I thought I would. I mean, I thought I've got all the lights on, but I think it's trying to brighten up. And what I want to do with these is make some cross-stitch bags or embroidery bags. You know, the sort that have the vinyl bit at the front, and then you have a sort of an inside, because I think these two would be lovely together, these two. And have that as the outside, and that is the inside maybe. And then I've bought a roll of the vinyl, Crafters vinyl. I mean, I think I bought the right thing. I've not looked at it. I've not taken it out of its packaging. And I've bought the zips. And somewhere on YouTube, I think it's called Elizabeth Can Stitch. She does a cross stitch or stitching channel. I think she does other things. But I think it just came up on my recommendations when she was going to the Nashville Stitch, the market. So she was going there, and other things came up, and she's done a tutorial on how to make one of these bags. So it looks fairly simple, but it's got a zip in it. But anyway, so this was 1 month, and that's what I'm going to do. And so those are my subscriptions. The other thing, I've fallen down the rabbit hole, I think I've spoken to you about it, of cross stitch. So I'm buying all the charts. Let me get rid of this hair, it's really dry. There we are, that's better. I didn't think I'd have much to show you, actually. I'm surrounded by some. Sorry, my chair's squeaking. So I'll show you my progress on my stitching. So that's another reason to make these. But I've only got this one. This one is from Davina, Little Workroom Crafts, and the 2 projects that I'm stitching are all in here. So it's getting a little bit of a tangle. So I think I showed you this one last time, and this one is Elizabeth and her 4 dogs. And I'm using all the, and also the threads get a little bit tangled up. So that's the one I'm doing there, Elizabeth and her 4 dogs. And these are I'm using all all the called for. And these are all the called for threads. Weeks Dye Works. No, not Weeks Dye Works. Classic Colour Works. Gorgeous, lovely. And this is my progress. And that's it. I haven't ironed it, and that's so far what I've done. So I've done one of the dogs, and I've also gone a bit. I think I will probably take it out and start again, because I've gone a bit of a wobble along there. They're not quite lined up properly, but I've done a little dog, and I've started to do the tree that is this bit here, the tree that's under the main. It's like a little. Oh, I think it's a tree, bush, whatever. I've started to do that. And this is, I'm using the Corfu linen. I can't remember, what was it called? Sleeping Bear. But this is 36 count. I didn't have 40 count. So this is 36 count Sleeping Bear, which is a lovely pinky beige linen. It's lovely. So that's the progress on that one. On Elizabeth and her 4 dogs. I watched Brenda and the Serial Stitcher podcast a couple of podcasts ago, and Brenda had stitched it. Oh, it was beautiful, but everything she does is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's that one. And because I haven't finished that one, I thought I'll start another one. And I started this thinking it would be quite manageable, because it's only got three colours in it. And it's this one. And it's called Spell of the Moon. And it's only got the 3 colours. And it is in this book, Winds of Autumn. So it's totally out of season, but probably by the time I finish it, it will be autumn. That's my thinking anyway. I should start my Christmas things now. I'll cut that out. I shouldn't show you the chart. I'm showing you the wrong. There we go. Yeah, so this is my progress up to now. And it's there. I'm doing the owl with the moon and the moon behind him. And that's all I've done. I've done quite a bit of unpicking on this one. And I'm not sure I've chosen the right linen. The call for linen is Weeks Dye Works Tin Roof. And the nearest thing I got to this is, oh gosh, what's it called? It's 32 count. 32 count tin roof. And I looked at, oh, here we are, got the little, it's 36 count sleeping, no, that's from that one, isn't it? Oh dear, oh dear. That's, yes, that's Sleeping Bear, that goes in that one. Let's see if I've got it down the bottom here. Probably not. These are all the threads. Oh, here are the threads for, yes I have. Oh, that was organised of me. I've put the tag from, so I'm using 32 count Saltbush, because when it said Weeks Dye Works Tin Roof and it was a Weeks Dye Works linen, I thought, well, maybe it's like the tin roof thread. And I've got some somewhere, and putting it against this was the nearest thing. But I'm wondering if it's not too dark. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm not very good at this sort of substitution bit. I tend to do everything as called for. Even with my knitting, I do the same. So we'll see. We'll see. So that's as far as I've got with that one. But I do need to make some project bags, because everything's getting a little tangled up if you've got more than one thing in a bag. So I've got all back in there. I think that's everything I've been doing. I did have a little splurge and bought some more charts. And this one, which I bought the yarn for, this one I thought was just really, really pretty. It's called Garden House, and it's the Garden House is the 9th and final chart in a series called The Houses on Wisteria Lane, and it's by, the design is by Laurie Pengelly, and I just thought that was really pretty. I think there's one called the potting shed, which has been sold out. I buy everything from Peak District Needleworks, which is not far from me. They're based in Glossop, which is not far, but it's an online shop. So it's like, and they're very quick. Everything comes not the next day, but the day after, you know, kind of thing. And they always have loads of, and these are all the threads, a mixture of classic colourworks, Weeks dye works, and gentle art, and they are absolutely gorgeous. That you're supposed to twist them around. That's what Sian does. She twists them around so you can sort of get a benefit. Yeah, you know, I think the sun's going to come out, and I will totally be in the wrong place. There we go. Gorgeous. I need to get it. I've got a ring to put them on. I ordered some more rings, and I ordered. You could pre-order. You know, there's the Nashville market. Through Peakside, you could do some pre-ordering. Well, I was late to the party, and the deadlines. It was over past the deadline, so I just waited to see what came up from when they came back, and so I bought two. I bought this one, which I think everybody has stitched. I just thought it was so cute, so lovely. And I'd never heard this before, but apparently there's a lot of confetti stitches in the design, which I'd never heard of before, and they can be a bit fiddly. But I was watching the latest this morning while I was having my breakfast. I was watching Brenda and the Serial Stitcher, and Brenda just carries, when it's confetti, she just carries them. And I thought, well, if Brenda can do it, so can I. And I just think that is so sweet. I'm waiting for the fabric, the velveteen, to come back into the stitchery. It's sold out, but it's so pretty. It's a Stacey Nash velvet pink pear, and it is on. I've got all the threads, although I do tend to buy a chart and then buy all the threads as well, because I'm trying to get a stock up of all my threads. That's my reasoning anyway. So, but I think I actually have duplicates of these stitches. It's on 36 count needle and flax linen bray, B-R-E-A. But I haven't got that. But I was watching Sian, Periwinkle Stitcher, and she stitched it on something else, and I needed to make it. I meant to make a note when I was watching it of what she used, but I can go back and find out, because I don't think you can get it. I mean, I'll only buy the linens from Peakside anyway. So the other one I got was Tomato Hill, which was that's a very pretty one. I go for the pretty ones. That is so pretty. And at the moment, I'm doing the little ones, smalls, I think they're called. That one, and that is on Cafe au Lait by Fibre on a Whim, which I have. And then there's all the threads are a collection of DMC and Classic Colourworks and Weeks Dye Works. Lovely. So I'm looking forward to do that one. Again, yeah, that's Plum Street. Sorry, did I not say it's Plum Street Samplers, Tomato Hill. And this one by With Thy Needle and Thread, which is the design by Brenda Gervais, is called Hop into Spring. And I thought that one was very pretty. And I will do that for next year. And that one is on Pyrite Linen by Cedar River Yarns. Again, I don't think, well, I know I haven't got that one, and I think it's hard to get. I think it's available in America, but the customs and stuff. It's just so expensive. So that's some new charts I've got. Now to end, I was looking through my charts. I can't remember why, but I think I was trying to organise them into something. I was tidying up that cupboard behind me to make some more room, because I had all my charts in a basket and I wanted to put them away, and I have all my linens stacked up, and then I have all the charts to the side. And as I was looking through, I found out that I had got 2 of these, and it's gorgeous. It is by Fox and Rabbit, and it's called Anne Harper Pindrum, and you get a chart for obviously the pindrum, and you get a chart for that, and you get a chart for that. And I think that you could make it flat, or you could make it into a pindrum, from what I gather. But there's a chart for that one, and there's a chart, so that you've got 3 charts in there. So I don't need 2. And it's the fabric they call for is 36 count desert taipan, and it's DMC and Weeks Dye Works threads. Fox and Rabbit. So what I thought I'd do was I'd do a giveaway. I've never done one of these before, and I'm not sure I'm supposed to call it a giveaway because that causes problems. However, I would like to give this away. So if you would like to receive this, if you'd like to win it, because what I'll do is, for however many people put in the comments that they would like it, and I'll think of a word in a minute. Well, the chances are I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, where write everybody down, and then ask. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that aloud either. Then all your things will be going off. Oh, hang on, my battery's dying. I'll cut that out. So I will ask our friend to pick a number between however many we've got. I'll do it that way. And if you comment, if you would like a chance to win this, if you comment in the comments and use the word pindrum, if you use that word pindrum, and then I'm hoping to come back in a fortnight. Now that might, if I say that and I'm going to pick the winner in a fortnight, that will let me get my act together. So I'm going to say in a fortnight, and I will draw. Now I'm not going to ask you for any money. I'm not going to ask you for anything. I will ask the winner to email me when it's drawn. But I will not be asking you for any money, any postage, nothing. Apparently that's a problem with gift-aways, or what it is that people, scams come in, but I'm not going to demand any money. I think that's all I have to say to you to do this. Yeah, so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful chart. So that's the giveaway. Pindrum. And I think on that I finished. I can't think of anything else. But anyway, if I have forgotten something, I can show you next time. Well, I hope this is okay. There's a couple of things I need to take out, and my editing skills are not very good. However, I will see you next time, hopefully in a fortnight, and I will draw for that chart. And thank you for all your lovely comments. Thank you for subscribing. I've had a few more subscribers. Each time I podcast, I seem to get a few more subscribers, which is lovely. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching. And I will see you soon. Bye.